This is the true misery of a narcissist. Hello and welcome back. Today, we're going to unravel something that might surprise you. When we think of narcissists, we often picture people who are self-assured, charismatic, and seem to have an unshakable sense of confidence. They're the ones who always appear to be in control, demanding attention and admiration from everyone around them. But what if I told you that behind this mask of self-importance lies a deeper, hidden truth, one that most of them would never admit to? What if, beneath all that bravado, there's a layer of insecurity, loneliness, and emotional turmoil that makes life far less glamorous than it seems for a narcissist? That's right. Narcissists have their own kind of misery, a pain they keep carefully hidden, even from themselves. If you've ever wondered what really goes on inside the mind of a narcissist when they're not putting on their usual show, stay with us, because this discussion will take you into the true, unspoken struggles of those who seem to have it all together. Before we dig deep into this revealing topic, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with those who might need a new perspective on narcissists and their hidden struggles. Trust me, this insight might change the way you see these complex individuals and could even help you understand why they act the way they do. Let's explore the true misery of a narcissist and uncover the parts of their lives that are often kept in the shadows. To the outside world, narcissists often seem like they have it all: confidence, charm, and a seemingly endless supply of self-assurance. But the truth is far more complex. Despite their outward confidence, narcissists are plagued by a constant need for validation. This need is like an unquenchable thirst, driving them to seek admiration and attention wherever they can find it. They spend so much energy maintaining their image, making sure that they are seen as successful, admired, and envied. But this endless pursuit of validation is exhausting, and it's rooted in a deep, unspoken insecurity. Narcissists may act like they believe they're superior to everyone else, but inside, there's a nagging doubt, a fear that if they stop seeking approval, they will have to face a truth that terrifies them: that they aren't as special as they want to believe. You might think that a narcissist's life is easy because they're always putting themselves first, but this self-centeredness comes at a great cost. One of the greatest sources of a narcissist's misery is their inability to form deep, meaningful connections with others. Sure, they might have plenty of people around them, friends, admirers, even romantic partners, but these relationships are often shallow, based more on what the other person can give them than on genuine emotional bonds. For the narcissist, other people are often seen as tools, ways to gain admiration, attention, or status. But deep down, this lack of true connection leaves them feeling isolated and alone, even in a crowded room. It's a loneliness that's hard to admit, even to themselves, because to acknowledge it would be to admit that their way of interacting with the world isn't as fulfilling as they pretend it to be. Imagine living a life where you constantly have to wear a mask, where you always have to appear strong, confident, and in control, even when you're falling apart inside. For a narcissist, this is a daily reality. They are masters of hiding their vulnerabilities, not just from others but even from their own minds. They've built up walls so high that even their own insecurities struggle to break through. But that doesn't mean those insecurities aren't there. Beneath the surface, many narcissists struggle with feelings of inadequacy and worthlessness that they've buried deep within. It's like having a wound that never quite heals, constantly needing to be covered up, and yet always reminding them that it's there. This brings us to one of the most painful truths about being a narcissist: the fear of being exposed. A narcissist's greatest fear is that others will see through their facade and realize that they aren't as confident or capable as they appear to be. This fear drives much of their behavior, pushing them to manipulate, control, and even lie to keep their image intact. But living with this fear is exhausting. It means constantly being on guard, always watching for any sign that someone might see the cracks in their carefully constructed persona. This fear of exposure can make a narcissist paranoid, always second-guessing the motives of those around them and struggling to trust anyone completely. It's a life where true relaxation and peace of mind are hard to come by. And then there's the issue of self-worth. For a narcissist, self-worth is not something that comes from within. It's entirely dependent on the reactions and opinions of others. They might seem like they think highly of themselves, but their self-esteem is like a fragile balloon that can deflate at the slightest hint of criticism or rejection. When things are going well, and they're getting the attention they crave, they might feel like they're on top of the world. But as soon as the admiration fades or someone questions their greatness, their sense of self-worth crumbles. It's a constant roller coaster of highs and lows, with no steady foundation to rely on. This dependency on external validation makes a narcissist's emotional world incredibly unstable, leaving them vulnerable to feelings of emptiness and despair whenever the applause stops. Another source of a narcissist's misery is their inability to truly change. Narcissists often struggle to look inward and take responsibility for their actions. It's easier for them to blame others for their problems than to face the uncomfortable truth about themselves. This lack of self-awareness can protect them from their own insecurities in the short term, but it also means that they rarely grow or evolve as people. They remain stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same mistakes, and hurting the same people, all while wondering why their lives don't seem to improve. Deep down, some narcissists may even recognize that something is wrong, that they are trapped in a cycle that never brings true satisfaction. But because admitting this would mean confronting their flaws, they continue down the same path, unable to break free from their own behavior. And here's something you might not expect. Narcissists can feel intense jealousy and envy, even though they often act like they're above everyone else. They might look at other people who seem to have genuine friendships, loving relationships, or a sense of inner peace, and feel a deep sense of envy. It's a painful reminder of what they don't have and what they struggle to understand. Why can't they find that same contentment? Why do other people seem to be able to find happiness in things that feel out of reach for them? These feelings of envy can drive a narcissist to undermine others, to try to tear down the very things they envy. But in doing so, they only push themselves further away from the happiness they secretly crave. Ultimately, the true misery of a narcissist comes down to this: they're constantly running from themselves. They spend so much energy trying to maintain their image, seeking approval, and avoiding anything that might make them feel vulnerable, that they rarely find moments of true peace. Their lives are filled with noise of their own thoughts, their endless need for validation, and their fear of being exposed. And while they might seem like they have it all, they are often trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction, unable to find the fulfillment that comes from genuine connection and self-acceptance. This is not to say that we should feel sorry for narcissists or excuse their behavior. Their actions can cause real harm to those around them, and it's important to set boundaries and protect ourselves from their manipulation. But understanding their inner world can help us see that behind their difficult behavior is a person who is struggling in ways we might not have imagined. It can remind us that their bravado and arrogance are not signs of true confidence, but rather a mask that hides a deeper insecurity. So, when we look at a narcissist, it's easy to see someone who is controlling, selfish, and even heartless. But if we dig deeper, we find a person who is carrying a heavy burden, one of fear, insecurity, and loneliness. It's a life that is far from easy, and it's filled with challenges that they might never fully admit to, even to themselves. This doesn't make them innocent, but it does make them human, with their own kind of pain and their own unspoken struggles. Thank you so much for staying with me through this deep dive into the hidden world of a narcissist's mind. I hope this discussion has given you a new perspective, helping you to see beyond the surface and understand the deeper struggles that even those who seem confident and unbreakable might be dealing with. If this video resonated with you or helped you in any way, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might need to hear these insights. Your support means the world, and it helps us continue to bring more eye-opening content like this to you. Remember, understanding is the first step to healing, whether it's for ourselves or in how we relate to others. Until next time, take care, stay compassionate, and keep seeking the deeper truths in life.